Whoever's coming can jump on. I think a few people we're going to miss tonight, but that's all right. The important people are here, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk about goal setting with nutrition. And I did a quick video in our group. I forgot to put them in the bod groups, but we're going to go over it again tonight. So it doesn't really matter. It'll be in there.
Add me to the bod group.
Yeah.
I can't find it. I wound up in some random group. I mean, it's us. Like I know but it's not that group.
Yeah. No, I'll add.
Which group are you trying to get in?
Probably the 2022 Your Best You, whatever was our yearly group, right?
Yes.
Is it on Facebook? Okay. Because I don't know what
it's not on Facebook. We did move over to bod groups. And a lot of that is because of simplicity, but also because with the bod app, like when you do a workout in bod, it tracks it for you. So all you have to do is share it to the group if you want to share it, but it's tracking your stats. And so it's really nice just for efficiency as you're either tracking your meals, tracking your workouts, it's all in one place. And we're, as coaches, finding that Facebook doesn't like our posts sometimes. So then you don't necessarily see the posts sometimes. And it's, bod groups we control at Beachbody. And so we can put up a post and it's always going to be there and you're going to be able to just scroll in and see it. There is, the more people we have in a group, obviously there's more to scroll. And so I'll throw out a little bod tip here. You can up at the top, it'll have like a filter where it says all posts. You can also go coach posts, your posts, and there might be a couple other options in there. I feel like there was 4 or 5 options, but you can filter that. So you can just see like the coach post for the day. If you don't want to look at everybody else's workout, I enjoy seeing what everybody else has been doing. And it's fun to kind of go on there and give them a high five or some kind of emoji. But and Kathy, you'll have access to all of that. You're actually in that group. I checked. You're in the 2022 Your Best You. You're confirmed in there. So
where is it? I don't.
So if you go to beachbodyondemand.com, like if you went on your computer, or if you have the app on your phone, but on the computer, there'll be a little second or a category.
Even if I don't have,
like, if you have a free account gets you into that. Yep.
All right. So I go to Beachbody on Demand, and what do I do?
Once you've logged in, so whatever your login is. So if you don't know that, you may have to hit the forgot login and redo. You log in, and then once it's on there, it's going to show you all these categories: shop, Beachbody on Demand, bod groups. Trying to think of what else is on there. And then, so you would just go into the bod groups section, and that's where you're going to see the group that you're already in. And you'll also see other groups that I have.
Okay, so what group am I in?
2022 Your Best You.
2022 Your Best You. Okay.
Yeah. That's the group that you were in Facebook. So it's the year-long group, no matter what program, daily posts, and then you can just check in. You can give us all high fives and share your workout.
Is it on Facebook too or not?
No, it's not this time.
It's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a little bit of a learning curve. We're all trying to, get to the new style, but it's going to be, once you get used to it, it really is nice because everything is right there. So you're not missing it. It's not dependent on what Facebook is showing you, and you can just easily access it. Plus you can easily access the other parts of bod. Like if you want to do a sample workout with your free account, you can do those kinds of things.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah. All good things.
One question, another tip. One question is, what is tomorrow's Fun Friday?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. So we went to Mondays now. I know.
Oh my gosh, I've been gone so long. I am like, oh my God.
It just started this last Monday.
So
I was like, wow, I can't handle all of this change tonight.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm really throwing it at you, aren't I? So we kind of felt like Funky Fridays were going a little flat with people sharing their pictures. And so we switched this month to a Monday theme, and it will throw out either a tip, a challenge. So last Monday was Motivation Monday, and you shared your favorite quote. so that, you know, you could inspire someone or something that inspires you. Hey, Joy.
Sorry, I'm late.
No worries. And so we'll continue with the Monday. I can't remember all of them, but I know we have like a Monday mocktail coming up. And there'll be some kind of like a minute Monday or something. I can't remember what we named it, but basically you're going to do something for a minute, like a wall squat or something like that. So we'll have these Monday challenges. There was some ideas thrown out that like in February, we might go to Tuesdays and then you kind of keep going through the days. I don't know if we'll get that complicated. It kind of depends on how much people like it and participate.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah.
And then the other tip I have is, for your coach posts, when you guys are posting stuff on Facebook specifically, what I would encourage you to do is to create a little like chat group among like all the coaches. And when you post something, share it into the chat group and then have everybody run to like or comment on it. Because what happens within the first few minutes, Facebook will then determine it as being relevant or like interesting content and it boosts it up. So
yeah. It's more just that we use certain words that Facebook likes to make it a sales post and it's not a sales post. So then it prevents people from seeing it. And then if you don't go in and relook at it, like say you've scheduled your post, then it just sits there as a sales post and nobody sees it. So
yeah,
then go in and unclick the format. So yeah, it's
okay. They shadow banned me today. I posted a video and it sat there for 4 hours and nobody saw it. And so I pulled it.
Man, I know it's tricky now. It's like you don't know what's gonna, I don't know, work. So anyway, but we'll be in the bod groups and you know all the content's there. So
awesome.
Well, and we have so much more control over everything that is in the bod groups, whereas Facebook you have no control.
Yeah. And I feel like with people going into the bod groups, you're going to discover how much more there is to bod, because before people would be like, oh, we have recipes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we have amazing recipes, right? So now it's like the ability to find all those things will be really good.
Cool. I'm excited. I'm excited for this because I'm on bod like every day. That's where I do my workouts.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can just click share to the group and boom, it's like done. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about goal setting. Okay. So first we're going to talk about in terms of like, I know everybody, like people will be like, I want to lose weight, right? Or I want to lose weight and gain muscle, or I want to, you know, I mean, you have these really generic terms. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to really talk about whatever that goal is. And we're going to narrow it down. We're going to get specific about what the goal is. So if you want to lose weight and gain muscle, those are pretty opposite things in the reality of the things you have to do to get there. Mm-hmm. So what I want you to think about is what your main goal is, like what the primary goal, the goal that is going to make you feel the best now, soonest, keep you in this, you know, healthy habit zone. What is the thing that means the most to you? Because that is the thing we'll focus on first, because likely that goal will then help affect other habits, other healthy things you can bring into your life when that's going well, right? When you feel good about how things are going, when you're achieving that goal, then you feel good about adding more things onto it, right? So we've talked about atomic habits and habit stacking. How you know, it just feels that you get really good at something, then you just add a little bit more in. And it doesn't feel nearly as stressful as trying to do every single thing at once. Because I feel like, just like what Marianne and I were talking about before we started recording, she's starting the reset next week and it feels overwhelming. And you really literally just have to narrow it down, focus on the most important piece, having the vegetables on hand. And then you can work that toward getting to the goal. And then as you get used to it, you can add more things in and it doesn't feel nearly as overwhelming. So does anyone have a goal they want to talk about, or like, let's see if it's specific enough or that you want to work toward? Let's throw out some ideas.
Well, my goal has been for my life to lose weight, but I have problem with the food. I keep changing diets like every other day because I can't stick to anything. I feel like I know it all, but I don't know any of it, and I don't know where to start.
Yeah. So
Just-
Kathy, like in December, you were starting to feel a little more relaxed about your food, right? Like where you were having some things you still enjoyed. You wanted to make sure that you liked the foods,
Right.
but you still kept it within like a certain portion or macro count, or you know what I mean? You were keeping it within the guidelines. So how was that going?
I'm not doing anything now. Between the holidays, I just like gave up on everything food wise. You know,
Yeah.
I only gained 2 pounds over the 5 days we were away, and I took it off like in one day. But it's like now I'm playing. See, right now we have a problem. I have a cousin that her son is going to put her in an assisted living. She can't live on her own anymore. So I have cousins coming in from out of town this weekend, and we're going to stay at her place for like 3 or 4 days to clean it out. And it's like, so I'm just bringing food there. I made a pot of sauce. I'm making a black bean casserole, and I got a chicken, and I'm just bringing it because I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I can't even think now.
Yeah. Well, so I think and we've talked about this a little bit before, is maybe taking the weight piece out of it, but focusing on the feeling good with good food. You know what I mean? Doing the best you can. And you're going to have, this is going to be an emotional, tumultuous thing you're going to have happening. So you really don't want to stack a lot on it. You don't want to, you want to do you already talked about bringing your food. So bring foods that you know you'll enjoy, that are good foods, nourishing foods. And that's what I mean when I say good. There really isn't a good, bad, but nourishing things. And, have your proteins, have some vegetables, but also give yourself some grace through this, right? Knowing that it is a tough time. And then when things ease up a little bit after you've gone through it, then you can narrow the focus a little bit more. But it's always one of the biggest things, and this is in category, I wrote some notes to make sure we stay on task here, make sure I stay on task. But one of the things we do is that we get so focused on the result, the goal, the weight, the size, and then we're not focused on the work, but we have to focus on the day-to-day work to get to the results, right? The results are like an afterthought, should be. It's all about today. Did I eat some vegetables? Did I move my body? Did I have water? And those are the critical day-to-day things so that you get the results. So I think you'll be happier, you'll feel more at ease focusing on those smaller pieces versus I'm struggling, I can't get to a weight. Because the weight, we don't know what that number might be a number that's not even a number you want to be at in the end, but because really we associate a weight with a feeling. But we really want to feel a certain way. We want to feel good in our clothes. We want to feel like we're able to move our bodies to do the things we want to do. We want to carry in, all the grocery bags without pulling a muscle or whatever it is, right? You want to feel good. And that might not be the weight that's in your mind, but you definitely can get there through doing those daily pieces and feeling good about the food you're putting in and nourishing things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
One of the things that I found helpful to your point, Deanna, was in the book Roar, which is just fantastic. I listened to it on audio and then I actually purchased it to have it because it had all the tables and stuff. And I used it as a reference point because in there's a table in the book that tells you based on like your body height and everything, what you're actually capable of weighing and where you fall in that. And I found that to be very helpful to ensure that I found myself in a achievable reality.
Right. Yeah, because I think sometimes people will say, I weighed this in high school, right? For some reason, that's a weight we remember. I'm not really sure why, but like we remember a high school weight. You weren't even a full grown woman in high school yet. You know what I mean? Like you were still developing, you were still, getting different hormones, changing, becoming. And, that may not be your best weight now. And it's okay, because I feel like we don't wear like some kind of weight number on our clothing that says, hey, I'm, 160 or whatever, right? It doesn't really, it's just an arbitrary number, but you wear your confidence and your smile and how you feel about yourself when you're walking around the world. And that's the thing that's so critical, how you're feeling about yourself in your skin, how things are going, which is actually part of part 3, the mindset. We'll get there.
But I mean, when you think about in high school, you don't have the stress. You get way more sleep.
You didn't have any babies.
You haven't had any kids yet. There's so many different things that change how your body reacts and what it looks like. I mean, I look totally different than in high school, and not going back there ever.
Right.
But yeah, there's just a lot that affects it all.
Well, and I think we take that number, right, and think, well, I was there at one time, so I should be able to get there again.
Yeah, right.
But it's probably not gonna feel the same way. I mean, maybe it will, I mean, I don't even remember what I weighed in high school. I think it was around 140. I'm around 160 right now. And it's like, I'd much rather take how I take care of myself now over high school, when I'd eat a can of ravioli and have a Coke before swim practice and, live on whatever processed food was sitting around.
Well, and also, I mean, to that point, you're so much more, at least I am so much more healthier now with the way that I eat. And I'm so much more confident now than I was. I was super shy. I didn't want to stand. I mean, I wouldn't even talk to you guys on Zoom in high school. That was not me at all. I would never work out in front of anybody. I mean, I played sports, but I was very shy. And so, yeah, a lot.
And now Lily's well on her way to having her own workout program.
Right? I don't know why they don't ask Lily to
big screen.
That's serious. Like every time I see her workout videos, I'm like, wow, like that's so amazing. First of all, because I don't look nearly that coordinated when I'm working out. So kudos to Lily.
Oh, thanks.
Makes it look easy.
She does.
Well,
maybe we should get you on
enjoy
body teaching a class.
She
That
does,
would
and
require-
she makes
yeah.
it look like really easy. And it's like, seriously? And she'll be doing some core, and I'm like, I am not going there.
Oh, I just enjoy it. It makes me happy. So
You look happy when you
Okay,
do.
that is key right there. Lily works out every day because she has found the joy in working out. When you find the joy in the daily task, right? Like I'm probably going to sound like a crazy person, but that ginger miso dressing from the Reset has changed my life. And I want a salad every day just so I can have that dressing. And it's like, because I find, right, Sue? You have the Mariana make that dressing, because it's
I'm going to have to. I might have
like
to.
Japanese, it's kind of like Japanese steakhouse dressing feel, but not as carroty.
Okay.
Yeah, so good. But anyway, but it's like you find like the things that you're excited about, and it's all part of the plan. It's good for you. It's part of, your nutrition plan. And so then you do it more. But if you go into your nutrition plan and you're like, I have to have broccoli tonight, blah, who's going to enjoy that? Nobody. So it's like, you have to be excited. And I'm not saying as crazy as I am about, the salad and the ginger miso dressing, but you do have to find the happiness, the excitement, the empowered feeling of, I ate really delicious food today. My body feels nourished. I feel good about what happened, because then you'll continue it the next day. So we skipped ahead a little bit. So let's go back. Okay. So we were talking about setting your goal. Did anybody else want to talk about goals? Get specific. I don't want to cut you off if you want to share. I know it's a personal thing, and it's okay if you don't want to share. So, setting your goal, you want to get really specific. So let's just say weight loss is your goal. Okay. So you're going to get really specific about what that looks like. On average, you can lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. You're going to have some weeks where maybe it's a half a pound. You're going to have, probably in the first week you start a nutrition plan, you might lose 3 pounds. 3 pounds isn't sustainable through a long-term activity. So when you're losing weight, you want to follow a meal plan that you can follow. We have 2 amazing meal plans, right? They're quite different in their approach as far as how they feel when you're on them, but they both work just as well, right? So you got Portion Fix that is telling you kind of what fits in each category. It's a macro-based plan. I think it's ideal if you are doing more athletic workouts because it is going to help your body have the fuel to be doing, more lifting programs and things like that. I think that type of program works the best for that. But also some people like to be told what to put in their containers and what to eat. So this is also a really great plan for you because
Well, it does make it
yeah, right. You don't have to think about it, right? You're like, okay, I have a red, I'm going to put some chicken in it. I got a green, I'm going to put some broccoli in it. I'm going to do some brown rice, whatever. And the Fixate recipes are absolutely amazing. I made General Tso's chicken this week, better than takeout. Oh my God. Like I literally, I think I cooked 4 pounds of chicken and it was gone between dinner and my kids' lunch the next day. They were so excited. They were, what?
We should meal prep that.
Yeah, well, it's on the Fixate, so I'm sticking to the blog, but there was one like it in the blog. So I'll go find it. Yeah. Cause it was super good. But so, get specific about, which meal plan. And so to be like going back to the 2 choices, to be mindset, that is going to be more intuitive. Like, have I eaten enough? Do I want some more? You're going to be putting a lot of vegetables in with each meal. So that helps fill and keep you full and have lots of fiber. You're also going to have plenty of macros for working out, but if you're on a weightlifting plan, you may need to add a little more protein. So that's just kind of how that works. So it's not like you can't do 2B mindset and do Body Beast or do 80-day obsession. You just may find your energy level, you might add a little more protein in a little, in a few spots. But the 2B mindset is also one of those where you have a little more freedom with your accessories. You're monitoring your weight in a different way if you've had weight loss days. So you just want to figure out what is the best plan for you. And there is a quiz that helps you determine kind of based off your answers on how you eat, what you like to eat. Like I know one of the questions is about volume eating. So if you're a volume eater, then 2B mindset is definitely a better plan. So you want to take that quiz. You want to get specific about the weight loss piece of it. And then you're going to go into the creating the plan, right? So this is like step number 2. You're going to create the plan you're going to follow. So you've picked your nutrition plan. You are going to track either pen and paper or you're going to track in your app. Either way, doesn't matter, whichever one you actually use. That's the key. And the tracking is one of the things that I've always like tracking feels restrictive to me. So I do it when I'm really following a plan, and I've been eating like this for so long that I feel like I can kind of wing it, but I also notice my results in winging it too. So it depends on what phase you're in your, plan. If you're in a weight loss mode and it's super focused, then track. You're just going to have to kind of get over I don't want to track things. Because this is the part where you really have to be honest with yourself on what's happening, and not honest in a way that you're like, you're bad or you're doing it wrong. It's honest in a way that you really look at how things are going and give yourself a reality check. Because if you are having an Oreo and not writing it down, if you are adding a little extra peanut butter to the teaspoon and not adding it in, it shows up in your weight loss. But if it's not showing in the tracker, then it's hard to see that, right? It's you can be like, I'm doing all the things, but it's not working. Well, if you're not,
it's only supposed to be a teaspoon of peanut butter.
Well, the teaspoons, have you seen that one meme where it's like the giant teaspoon?
Oh, I've been using like I've been using like the teaspoon out of the drawer with the silverware, not like that little thing that's aggressively tiny that like judges you.
Oh yeah,
one and the same though. They just look different.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, Sue. I was like, this is fine.
One has a lot more surface area that tends
Yeah,
to.
you know, one's flatter, one's
I just thought it
round.
was flattened out. I figured it's the
Yes.
same measurement.
Yes.
I know when I track, and I write it down, and I use my phone because I always have my phone with me. And
Yes, yeah.
and super easy to keep track in the bod group app. And it tells you how many containers you have left, and they make it really easy. But I know that when I track, I tend to eat less sweets and less treats and less one and twosies here's and there because I have to write it down. And so that's one of the first things I tell my clients is if you're not seeing the weight loss, start writing what you put in your mouth, every single thing. And pretty sure they're like, oh, wow.
Right. Yeah.
I had, a bite of my son's when he, after he was done eating, and I had, an extra bite when I was making breakfast or dinner. And pretty soon that adds up to a whole nother meal.
Right.
So I know that for me, that really helps me. That and 80-day
Maybe-
obsession with time nutrition really helped because it told you exactly what to eat and you didn't have to think about it.
Yeah, time nutrition is really awesome. And I think for beginning too, because it really does just lay it all out there and you don't have to think as much about it. It can feel a little more complicated, but in reality, it just tells you everything you need to do. And if you're not tracking it, right, it's not like it didn't happen. You're just not telling yourself that it happened, but it did happen. So it's like, this is where you really have to get honest with yourself. And it's the same with your goals. You really have to be honest with yourself about what you're willing to commit to. Like this is what I talked about in the video that I'm not sure how well it came across in the group, but if you say your goal is a 6-pack abs, there is a commitment to your nutrition for 6-pack abs. So if you're not willing to follow that nutrition plan, because it's all possible, but you have to follow a plan and you have to really have this plan dialed in. But if you're not willing to be, I guess you could say, that restricted or that on plan, then let's not torture ourselves with being always having that as a goal, because it's not a goal that you're willing to work toward. So let's make a goal you're willing to work toward.
Well, and is it sustainable too? That's the other thing. Once you achieve this.
Yeah. Lily's got sustainable abs.
She does.
We don't all have it. It really depends on where we carry our weight and what body fat percentage we can feel good at. And that really is a personal thing.
So
everybody's going to feel good at a lower body fat percentage.
Right. So a year ago, I set a goal weight and I hit that goal weight right before the new year. And my promise to myself was that if I hit this goal weight, which I have to hold it for 3 days, then I could buy these leggings with the champagne bottles on them.
Which I saw you in and they were super cute.
Thank you. I'm obsessed. I love them. And I did it. And then I recognized that in order to maintain that, there were things that I was going to have to continue to do. And I had to have a really serious conversation, is this sustainable? And for me, it is sustainable, but it's recognizing that there's certain things that aren't fueling that goal for me, which is for me drinking. Right. And I mean, I'm not a big drinker anyways, but so New Year's Eve was here and obviously I was drinking. And so now I'm away from that goal weight, but I've really had to keep the mindset of well, these were decisions that you made and this is okay. And so how do you get back? And so it's also recognizing it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it took me literally, I'm not even kidding you, a year to get to that point. And it was, I earned it, damn it.
Right.
And I'm proud of myself, but now it's is this sustainable? And fortunately, it's okay with me, but it might not be okay for somebody else. So it's really whatever the comfort level is.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And it may be sustainable for you for a while, but then you may be you know what, I'm ready to do this or that or whatever. And the other piece about, I think, basing it on a weight, right, is if you work out long enough, I don't know that I could get to the weight I'd want to be at and it be sustainable with muscle I've added, with the way my body shape is now. So as women, we don't add it quickly and it's not a fast process, but if your body does change in its composition. And so like, I'll hear from people, maybe I've lost inches, but I haven't lost weight. Well, your body composition has changed and that's a great thing, right? It just means that maybe you have replaced some of the fat with some muscle and that means it's working. But that may also put it like, you'll see some of the transformation pictures of people who were like before working out and still skinny, but then, they're all fit and they're much heavier because of the muscle they've added. That's some of, what happens too. So I think, basing it off, like if you want to be a certain size or just look a certain way, that's the other thing too. Like if you want to look more athletic, like if you want muscles showing, that's a different set of workouts than maybe, if you want long and lean, then you're in bar, right? So, there's all kinds of trade-offs, but and none of them are unattainable or bad or, anything. It's just more, you have to decide what's going to work best for you. What are you going to feel the best about?
Oh.
And then we set the goal and we work toward it, right? So you've created your plan that's toward your goal. And now you need to revisit the plan every once in a while, right? So the Autumn talks a lot about this, where you recalculate at 30 days, you weigh in at 30 days. If you're on Alana's plan, then you're weighing in every day. So you already know that, but you may want to revisit like how things are going, like over the last 30 days, what is my, if you're going for weight loss, what does my curve look like? Have I consistently been going down, or am I just staying in the same 5 pounds and losing it, gaining it, losing it, and gaining it? So then you reevaluate your plan. You look at your food tracking, you look at your workouts, you look at how your lifestyle is. Are you sleeping? Are you stressed out? What's happening so that you can then tweak things, right? And then the last piece, which is the most important piece, is your mindset about staying with your plan. And not even that, it's your mindset that you're going to figure this out regardless. Like you're going to stick with you. You're going to keep working on you. You're going to keep helping yourself no matter what's happening. Okay. You're going to have the mindset that you can do this and that you're going to keep helping yourself. Because when we just say, F it, and then we've kind of given up on ourselves and we really don't want to do that. Right. And so, because it doesn't help anything. It certainly doesn't get you closer to the goal. It doesn't, then you have to like get back out of that hole and get back out of that mindset of, blah, I can't do it, or this doesn't work. It does work. We just have to figure out how to work it for you and how you need to shift that mindset to, like I talked about, finding the joy in thing, feeling empowered in your decisions. Like Mariana, you're going to have to feel empowered sometimes to not have a drink if you want to, right? If you want to stay where you're at, if that's part of the thing.
Nothing tastes as good as fit feels, so that's not a problem.
That's
Exactly,
a great
right?
saying.
It really, it's true. And you make trade-offs. You figure out what's important to you. Like we've talked about this on the call before. I have half and half and maple syrup in my coffee. You can pry it out of my cold, dead hands. I'm not putting anything else in it. That's the way I drink my coffee. That's how it's going to go, because I'm not willing to trade that right now. Now I did in the reset give up coffee for 4 weeks, which is astounding for me. And yeah, and I just had my first Energize this week since November 1st. So, and
God.
crazy, right?
Yeah, you're crazy.
But you kind of like, I was in the mindset that I'm doing this all on, fully following it, that, I'm going to do this plan. And I learned I could do life without coffee, but I also learned I really enjoy having it in there. So I'm going to have it in there. And so you kind of have to go through these phases of, figuring these things out about yourself, but also still working in the, on that mindset of, I'm going to keep working toward the goal. I'm worth putting this effort in to figure it out. So like if sweets are a challenge, then let's figure it out, right? Let's figure out why you're so sweet happy. Maybe it's having all kinds of, sugar alternatives. So you think you're not eating sugar, yet your brain's like, oh man, this sugar is amazing. And you're still getting that feeling of having sugar. So maybe you have to pare that kind of stuff down and just go to fruit for a while and see how that works. And you know what I mean? There's all kinds of things, but it's a process. And so my recommendation is always to kind of go with one thing right away. Like January should be about one thing that you're ready to focus on, that you're going to go all in on, and you're going to get it good at. So, whether or not that one thing can be bigger or smaller, it really depends on what your goal is.
Now, do you guys set goals every month, or is it
Yeah,
one goal to get there?
I kind of tend to go by program right now. Like right now I'm doing job 1 for the second time. My goal is to really put the effort into the workout, I guess I should say, like to really go into it heavier, stronger, and to start building, because coming out of the reset, I was a little weak, I will fully admit. And so I'm adding some protein back in, and I'm working toward getting stronger again, like getting back to where I feel strong. So, you know what I mean? So I think it depends on what your goal is. Do you want to share specifically, Joy?
No. Like I had before I disappeared.
And we missed you.
Thank you. I had a mindset of, what I was doing, tracking my workouts, and life took over. And like, I literally lost a good amount of weight, lost the pant size. I've gained that all back plus.
Yeah.
And it's I don't want it, sticking to it no matter what is when life like throws.
It's hard.
Yeah, I like
It is.
I learned to, I want to make it my habit, like part of my life. So when that boulder does get thrown, I'm not like falling off the cliff with it.
Right. And I think, what I notice about myself is that if there's seasons of things being harder or more busy, I will pull back on some of it. Maybe I won't follow a full nutrition plan. I'll eat at a maintenance level. Maybe my workouts are just simply getting it done, but they're not always that pretty, right? You know what I mean? It's
Right.
not like
Yeah.
my 100% full effort, but I'm continuing the habit in those things, so that when I come out of that season of, not having the best time, I'm still in the habit. Does that make sense? So it's like you can kind of pull back on things a little bit, but not totally stop them.
Yeah, that's
And like if you're like, let's say someone's super busy, it's crazy, then do a 20-minute workout, right? Don't do 6:45 and do a 45-minute workout, or an hour workout with ADD obsession. Don't like punish yourself with something that's going to make more stress. Do the 20-minute workout, keep the habit going, keep things moving. And then when you get, some room to breathe, then build on it. Okay. But it's okay to bring things to like a minimum during certain times in your life. It's when we stop them completely that you start a different habit.
And that's exactly what it's I've gone back to my old habits and not continued my, all those habits I learned.
Yeah. And it's hard because it does feel comfortable going back to old things.
Oh, absolutely. It was great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it's the muscle memory of doing that. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to put in the effort. Yeah. It's easier to, that's actually why so many people fail at New Year's resolutions when it comes to exercise and weight loss, is because to get to the apple in the fridge takes a lot more, like you have to actually do it versus grabbing, the granola bar on the counter.
Yeah.
So
I would agree with the goal setting that it's by program. But I would also say that you should set small goals so that you can attain those and have wins. And that will also help you feel more confident about yourself and feel like you're reaching your goals, instead of having, I want to lose 50 pounds. Well, it's going to take you a while to get those 50 pounds. So in between reaching that goal, you need to have smaller goals that you reach every week or every month. And that might help you as well stay on track.
Yeah, that's a great example, because it feels too overwhelming to just say I have to lose 50 pounds and then look at the scale
Yeah.
and be like, how on earth am I going to get there?
The more, it seems like the more I think about it and the more, like I try to diet, the more weight I gain. It's
Yeah.
not.
You really
Almost
have to let go of the diet culture, because
Yeah.
it is about fuel. It is about feeding yourself. It is about feeling good. And you're not going to punish yourself. You're not going to starve yourself. And you really, honestly, you have to trust yourself a lot more to get to the goal. Like, you have to believe when you say, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to eat vegetables every night for dinner. Do you believe yourself? Like, if that's your goal, you know what I mean? Because if you don't believe what you're saying to yourself, you're still not going to do it. So like what Lily said, is setting a goal that you believe, you think you can do.
And take the day at a time. Don't push, don't overwhelm. I learned the hard way. And right now with my new job, sitting down 8 hours,
Oh
thank God
yeah.
I'm home that I can go and stretch and everything. In the first 2 days, I overate on any snacks. And I was like, no, I am not going to that habit. So it takes time, but you just have to use your mindset and don't overwhelm it. I mean, don't push it on saying, I can't do it. You can do it. Just take it slow. Don't overdo it.
Joy, I get it. You're me. You are me to a
When you
T.
were talking earlier, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like me.
I gotta ask about one thing about how counting something. I gotta tell you what I did I told my husband for Christmas, I really wanted milk chocolate. I love milk chocolate, and I never have it because, I'm not supposed to. So I told him, he eats dark chocolate. I said, I can't eat it. It makes me nauseous. I want milk chocolate. I want good stuff. And I just want to be able to portion it. So he went out to a specialty shop and he got like a pound of chocolate, but he picked out all different ones. And every night when we were watching TV, he'll pick out one. Now I could eat the whole box. I could, because I love it. And I have one and I eat it slow and I taste it. And I'm like, this is like the best thing ever. And I'm enjoying it because I'm only having one piece. But if I wanted to do a portion fix, how would I count that one piece? It's like
technically like a teaspoon.
Yeah.
You do like chocolate chips or dark chocolate, and it's technically like a teaspoon. It depends on how big the piece is. It might be a couple teaspoons.
No, they're little pieces.
Yeah. So it'd be like a teaspoon.
A teaspoon? Okay.
Yeah. And honestly, so you found this middle ground and it feels good and it's great. So go with it, because you don't want the binging of all the chocolate. And so this is really working. So don't feel guilty about this one piece of chocolate.
Right.
Focus on the other 99% of your calories for the day, and then keep improving those too, right? Because that one piece of chocolate is not going to destroy everything, but it's the 99%.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I, did really great at dinner. I had my broccoli, I had my chicken, or whatever you're having. And then I get to have this one piece of chocolate. And if it's something you're really looking forward to, the rest of the day can work itself out to have that one piece of chocolate. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's if you have, all the things in the day and still the chocolate, or you feel like you have to have more chocolate, like it makes it worse, it makes the craving worse, then you want to think about changing that up.
You're not being able to have that one chip out of a bag and having to eat the whole bag of chips.
Yeah. You need to not buy I have found I need to not buy the chips.
Yeah. Or the cookies, or
Yeah, if you don't bring it into the house, you can't eat it. That's my favorite quote.
Yep.
And I think sometimes when you change your eating, when you are eating more whole like foods that aren't processed, you will find then sometimes, and I'm not going to say all the time because I still like my sour cream and onion chips, but you'll find sometimes you'll have that processed food and it's not nearly as good as it used to be. It
You're
doesn't
right.
taste the same. It's not as fulfilling. And that's where you have that little mindset shift that says, I don't need that. And it's not as good. It's not as satisfying. It's not a big deal to me anymore. And you can be like, no, thanks.
Mhm.
And you eat it and it doesn't fill you up.
Right. And then
Yeah.
you're still unsatisfied and you still want food.
Yep.
And that you have to have those like little inner talks with yourself, like being real, like I just ate these chips and I still want something else. So
Yeah.
maybe if I just had eaten, you know, like a portion fixed meal, right? Like 3 containers of something, I'd probably feel a lot better right now. So it's not like a shaming, guilting thing. It's just a, hey, what if I tried this instead of grabbing those chips? What if I had this turkey sloppy joes? You know, that's 1 red, 1 green, and 1 yellow. And, you know, you're going to feel like you're nourished. And honestly, your cravings go way down. Sue and I've talked about this a lot. Like I had no cravings during the reset. It was insane. Like I just felt so satisfied with the food we had. And I really didn't anticipate that.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah, I remember.
You know, I'll add to that as well. I've proven to myself multiple times that if I just have a meal and not sit there and eat like a
Yeah.
protein bar and a snack and this snack, just because I'm not ready to eat that meal. If I just eat the meal, I would eat so much less than if I tried a snack.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
So-
culturally like you think you should have a snack at 3 p.m. Just
Right.
have another meal, have a portion fixed meal. Those are all small meals, right? That's why we have 5 or 6 meals. And there's no rule that you have to have snack food.
Yeah, exactly.
When you snack or when you eat, right?
That's a good point.
Mhm.
Baby carrots, celeries. That's what I think of when I think of snacks.
Oh, well, that's good because I think of chips and, you know,
Well, no. I mean, that's but
I got
now.
this for my label today. I picked up this little snack mix at Trader Joe's because it was funny. We can talk about it later, but like, you know what I mean? Like this is so marketed as the snack, right? And really, if you just have, you know, you could even have a beach bar and an apple and you're going to be fine
Yeah.
versus having a handful of this, which is not going to do anything for me. I'm still going to be hungry afterwards. I'm still going to want something else because there's no nutrition to it.
Oh, see, that's just it. I'll take a handful of it and then I'll walk away and then I'll be like, oh, I need more. And I'll go back and get more. Then
Yeah.
I'll walk.
But yeah, when you're eating nutrient dense foods, way less craving, you're more satisfied.
Right.
Yeah, Shakeology is fantastic in the afternoon because that's when I find like I want something sweeter. And so it's really great for that afternoon, you know, sweetness treat.
Mhm.
Or in the evening as well, when you're wanting that
Yeah.
chocolate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the vegan chocolate tastes like dark chocolate to me and it just does the trick. So.
Exactly. All right. I think I got, oh yeah. One more thing on the mindset piece too. Like set yourself up for when you're like, recognize if you've had a non-scale victory, right? Recognize, like, be like, you know, I just finished a week worth of workouts and I haven't worked out in 3 months and I just finished a week. Give yourself a high five for that and recognize that you're doing the things you said you'd do. Because that's so important, and always post it in our group because we're always wanting to cheer all that kind of stuff on, right? I mean, that's amazing. You don't have to wait to be like, I lost the 50 pounds to tell somebody. If you lost
Yeah.
2 pounds, but even as, oops, hit my hand, even aside from the weight, if you ate on plan, if you feel more in control of your food, if you are feeling better about things, if your clothes are fitting better, share those things because ultimately those are really the things that matter and that keep us in the game, right? Doing the things we want to do to get to how we want to feel. And so it's really placing an emphasis on those things, doing the daily habit. And that's why we like talk so much about tracking your workouts and posting in the group and just showing up, because you're showing up for you. You know, I mean, you're showing up for yourself to be like, I'm important enough to myself to get this workout done. I'm important enough to myself to eat on plan today. And that my favorite t-shirt I have is eat like you love yourself, because that is absolutely a sign. And you can reward yourself with things too, just not food. So like if you want to get some new leggings, right? Get the champagne leggings. If you want to, you know, if there's something you want to do, you know, or maybe you buy yourself an early release program because you want to give yourself something different in the library to do, or whatever it is. You know, do something that matters to you. Maybe it's just going for a massage or getting your nails done or whatever it is, something that feels good to you, because that helps keep things going and keep the momentum going. Then when we have these boulders hit us, right? We keep some of it going. It's okay to, you know, it's okay to adjust things. Keep some of it going. Keep some important pieces moving your body. Try to get those veggies in, drink your water, get your sleep, right? Those are like the main things. And it may be a different season. And then you can come out of it though, ready to hit it a little harder, focus in whatever you wanted to do.
That's why I became a coach again. So I was a coach a while ago, and I like fell off. I was still working out. I stopped completely, but I became a coach again because I had hit a breaking point for myself and I wanted to recommit, and I wanted to do 9-week control freak. So I told myself that I would sign up early and become a coach so I could get access to the program. And then I went through the program of 9-week control freak 3 times last year, and it was totally worth it. But that was like the motivator for me, was I was like, well, I'm going to commit. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to get it done. Yeah. So anytime I was like, I don't think I want to show up today. And I'm like, no, I do want to show up because everything's already set up. I spent all this money, you know, I'm committed. So.
I love it. Yeah. And you got to figure out what's your hot button, you know, what works for you.
It's good to be back. I missed you guys.
Oh my God, Kathy, my first night back in forever.
It was weird having the 2 weeks of just me and Lily staring at each other. I miss you guys. You guys took a break during the holidays.
Great. It's been rough.
Well, you're back in now. We're going to get it figured out.
Mariana, we never made it into the city. We were supposed to go last week. We had tickets for the show. The show was canceled.
Don't come to the city. I don't even want to be in the city right now.
The show was canceled, and our friend's mother died, so they couldn't come. It was just like, so it wasn't meant to be.
Oh no. Well, you know what? It was probably for the best because it's a hot mess here.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
It is everywhere, Joy. This is true. Yeah, no, we're just gonna stay home till 2025.
Yeah.
This is fine.
I don't
need anything. Guys, I've got you on Thursdays. I've got the home workouts through BOD. I've got like the weights.
You don't have to leave your house at all.
There's nothing.
And Long Island's worse than New York City.
Yeah, I saw.
We are bad here.
Yeah, just stay home, Kathy, wear a mask and wash your hands.
That's what
And get your workouts done. That's the key.
Amen, sister. Yeah, that's really what it is. I've been thinking about the controllables, like what can we control, right? Our workouts, what we fuel our body with, Shakeology.
Yeah,
girl's not missing.
And all this up here, we get to control our mindset.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, my gosh, we're already at 6. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to cover before we're done?
So we don't have to dress up for Friday anymore. Now we just
don't. Sorry.
Monday.
Yeah. And I should look and see what Monday is. If everybody
was water.
That makes me really sad.
Monday was agua. Mas
well,
agua.
if people are missing Funky Fridays, we will bring it back because it is fun to find a certain color to wear and whatever genre.
I loved it.
I got more shiny pants than one person should own at this point, but
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I think it's
Marianne has
Jennifer
champagne
Jacobs.
pants. now.
it's her fault because she always wears the shiny stuff in the workouts, and I'm watching the workouts, and so it's like I
Yeah.
want to be shiny with her.
Yeah.
I know Lily mentioned that she was gonna do some colors, and I looked, and then when I saw that Jennifer Jacobs had the shiny ones, I'm like, I am not buying any.
Not going for the shiny look.
No.
Well, yeah, the ones she's wearing are pretty pricey too. I found the
Mm.
brand, so yeah.
So
What
Joy, are you
brand-
making a plan?
I've been trying. I went out yesterday and bought my little book because I gotta have it on, like,
Good.
it's there.
What plan are you gonna follow?
Well, it's just a portion fix, but this is my calendar, keep me on track or to
Okay.
help track. So
Perfect. And I'm telling you, there are so many good recipes coming this month. At like the 10th, people are kind of like drooling already in the groups because they've heard about some of the things coming. And there's so many good recipes in Fixate now that just make you feel like you're not on a nutrition plan, right? Like they're so good.
I know. Did you see those banana
Yeah, the
banana
pancake thing.
pancakes?
Yes.
And a sheet cake though? Like I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
I'm
yes,
in.
please.
Sign me up.
I know. Yeah. I'm excited for that one to come.
Yeah.
I
Plus,
gotta say,
my kids are gonna like that one too. So
because I love the Sunday. Hopefully next month I'll be on it.
Oh, the meal prep class?
Oh, I love it. I loved it. Can't wait to be able to get back on.
Yeah, well, and I put the recording in because we did chicken piccata, and those zucchini ham cheese cups were so good. Oh my
They
gosh,
sound good.
they were really good. And I just ate them cold. Like I just grab them and eat them cold. They were so
they're
good.
really good with salsa on top of them too. And
Yeah.
I've been eating them every day this week and they are not boring at all still.
I'm gonna
How do you
have
still
to-
have some left? We were out by like Monday.
Well, I've been hoarding them. I'm not sharing with my family.
My boys just open up the refrigerator and everything's just gone. And then what do we make for what was the middle one?
Salad.
Oh, the superfoods bowl. That was so good.
Really
And-
good.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the sauce on that, and it felt super hearty. Because I'm always kind of been a meat eater, and so like doing the reset and eating some vegan foods, I'm kind of like, nah, I'm not gonna feel satisfied or full or whatever. But that superfood bowl is one of those that you totally feel satisfied. It's like got all the elements, lots of flavor, all the good stuff.
Mm.
So yeah, watch the recording. You can
Yeah.
cook with us. You
Sit
can
down now.
you can say stuff to us and just pretend like we're cooking with you. And
I'll eat it next meeting on Thursday. Going
there you go.
this.
Yeah, and then the next one will be February. I want to say it's the 6th. Yeah, the 6th of February.
That first Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I keep eyeing up the shrimp noodle bowl. It just looks so good. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna
Who
put in there
picks
yet.
out the recipes? Who
I
picks
do.
out the- You
I do.
Okay.
Yep. I try to coordinate it. I kind of screwed up a little bit in this last one because I had 2 oven things, but actually the timing worked out fine where they didn't have to be in at the same time. But I try to do things where you're using different equipment so that you can have multiple things going at once and you're not having to wait or interfere. And just try to plan it out in a way that like you can use one cutting board and your kitchen isn't a complete disaster by the end. So
And you kind of go by the season?
a little bit, yeah. Or just things that look really good too, things that
So we
seem
have
like
Valentine's Day in February.
Well, and I think you were looking at some Super Bowl.
there's a
appetizers.
chicken buffalo dip that we were
Yeah.
gonna do for sure. Because that'll be the week before the Super Bowl. So then you'd have a Super Bowl option. You could, try it out the first week and then bring it to the party or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I'll
Or-
be in Jamaica the 3rd week in February. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
All right, you guys. So any other last minute questions? I don't want to keep you on too long.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Next week we'll resume as usual, and we'll have another hot topic. Maybe we'll have to think of if there's something you want to talk about specifically, you can always bring it up at the meeting. Otherwise, you know, you can always put it in the groups too, like when I post about the call, if there's something you want to talk about.
This should just be a food addicts therapy.
It is a little bit, it is kind of, because we are kind of retraining ourselves to not feel addicted about it and to feel, you know, comfortable. Like, I mean, you really, food should be enjoyed, but in a way that you don't feel, you know,
They do have that
shamed
group
or guilty.
OA, Overeaters Anonymous.
Yeah.
I'll-
Want to take a picture, Deanna?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Lily. I'm never. All right. Everybody give me your smile. We'll take a quick shot. Jeez. All right.
Thank you. Have a good
Okay.
week, everyone.
You
Have
too.
a good night,
And
guys.
you know what? If you want to wear a color tomorrow and post it in the group, you do it. You can have your own, you can make your own Funky Friday tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Oh,
See you later.
good night.
Bye. Bye-bye.